All right, so we got it all figured out. If so, great. And if not, okay, we'll still talk it through together here. So for the first one here, I've got 10 things. I'm picking 3 of them. So we could, if we want, just kind of logic our way through this. I've got 10 options for the first selection. I make that selection. That means for the second selection, I've got 9 things left to pick from. So I've got 9 configurations there. I pick something. So for the third selection, I should have 8 left. And if you're not okay with that level of logic, you can also always fall back onto this formula. And that's what I've done here. You got 10 selections or 10 things you can pick. You're picking 3 of them. So that is 10 factorial over what is basically now 7 factorial. So I've got 10 factorial up top divided by 7 factorial down here. So a lot of those factors cancel. In fact, all I'm left with at the end of the day is 10 times 9 times 8. So that is 720 if you want to make a calculation on that. But either you can logic your way through it, or you can work your way to that same value by using the formula. And I'm not going to say there isn't value in the formula, but I am definitely going to say there is even more value in being able to think your way through it critically. So for this next one, I've got 1,000 things I could pick, and I'm picking exactly one thing. So how many configurations are there? Well, there's 1,000. Either I pick the first guy or the second guy or the third guy, all the way down to the 1,000th guy. So there's exactly 1,000 configurations there. No arithmetic needed. Although you could bust out the factorials, 1,000 factorial divided by 999 factorial, and divide all that through. You could do it. It would still come out to be 1,000. This next one, this 20p0, is a bit of a trick question. It's saying I have 20 things, but I am picking nothing. I am doing nothing. How many different ways can I do nothing? Well, there's honestly only one way I can do nothing, and that is by doing nothing. So the only way I can, the only number of ways I can do nothing is one, because I can only do one thing, and that one thing is no thing, nothing. So that's how we get 1 there. Of course, if you run the numbers, you'll basically end up with 20 factorial divided by 20 factorial. All of the terms cancel, all the factors cancel. You're left with just 1 here. Next up, 17 permutations of 5, 17 pick 5. Once again, you can do the logic method. It's 17 for the first choice, 16 for the next, 15 for the next, 14 to the next, 13 for the final choice. And I use 1 less each time because I've picked that thing. I cannot pick it again. That's what this notation is telling me. And as I've been saying in this video series, for those of you who are working on WebAssign or even Pearson a lot of the time, you can just get away with typing 17 times 16 times 15 times 14 times 13. Because those robots that run the show, they can crunch those numbers for you. You don't need to crunch it and then transcribe it. But you won't get it wrong if you do multiply it out and type in the numbers, unless of course you type in the wrong numbers. So just to be safe there. And then finally, I'm looking at 16 pick some number, right? I haven't specified how many I'm picking, so I have to use the formula just to be able to say something, right? For whatever x is, I'm looking at 16 factorial divided by 16 minus x, whatever x is, factorial. And that's all we can do for that one. If you gave me a specific value for x, I could give you a specific number of configurations. But since I don't have that, this is how we do it. All right, so I think that's a good stopping place as any for giving you guys a good understanding of the gist of permutations, where order matters. Order always matters for permutations. And we've got now where there is no repetition, which is what we've done in these videos here. And if order matters, but you can do repetition, I want you to think back to passwords or pins. And so we've done both flavors of permutations now. In the next video series that I'll get up to you guys later, we'll start talking about combinations where order does not matter. And I will see you guys in that series. You have a good one.